here to introduce Joshua Hicks and his presentation on AI.
Hello everyone, thank you all for being here. Thank you to the review board for listening to my presentation. Thank you to everyone else who has helped me along the way. Making of my presentation and my product. So my presentation will be over AI, how the Christian should view it. Begin. AI will take over the world. AI will achieve a sentience and attempt to end humanity. And AI will be the leading cause of World War III. Many people believe these claims to be true. But why do people believe these things? They're so absurd that it seems peculiar. It is because of their presuppositions about AI. AI is a very controversial topic right now in how it is growing. Science fiction movies and stories about AI always depict AI in a particular way. Some examples of this: The Terminator and Avengers: Age of Ultron. In The Terminator, an artificial neural network called Skynet gains self-awareness and proceeds to engage in a nuclear holocaust against humanity. In Avengers: Age of Ultron, an AI found in a gem is released and learns about humanity, and comes to the conclusion that in order to save the world, humanity must die. Even though they are just stories or movies, they helped to lay the foundation for man's desire of creation. Surprisingly, AI originated around the time computers were first being developed. According to the Gale database article, Artificial Intelligence, Alan Turing was one of the first to experiment with the idea of intelligent machines. He also developed and tested a test to determine whether or not a machine has achieved sentience. AI continued to expand in tandem with upgrades to computers as computers advanced in the past. In fact, in the 1970s, AI came to a sudden halt in development when computer technology was not advanced enough for AI to keep up. It eventually resumed in the 1980s with expansions in computer technology. Eventually, AI would grow to become what it is today. And with time, it is sure to advance even more. Now, the question is whether or not humanity should be afraid. People who maintain a biblical presupposition about creation and God's plan for humankind have no need to fear AI. And have no need to fear that it will expand and have augmented effects on their life. Christians should not view AI as a threat because of God's control in its origin and development, its contemporary applications, and its future implications. The Turing test was invented in the 1950s. The test operated entirely through text, in which a specialist would interview both an AI and a human. If the specialist could not determine which one was the AI, then the AI would have achieved sentient intelligence. This was the first step that took humanity into the age of AI. And Turing would have continued his research if it wasn't for one key issue, and that's that computers lacked the ability to store information. They could only execute commands. It was not until the 1960s that computers were given more memory. And with this, they could store commands and able to execute very complex algorithms. In In addition to the memory component, AI also used machine learning, which is a method of teaching AI to complete a certain task, giving it a complex algorithm and telling it to complete a task. For an example, if a computer was tasked to delete spam emails, it would be given an algorithm to determine which emails are considered spam and which are considered normal emails, and put each into its very category. Another type of learning, similar to machine learning, is deep learning, which is utilized a lot more now. Deep learning is constructed using a complex series of neural networks, similar to neurons in the human brain. Another type of learning by John Hopfield and David Rummelhart. In Rockwell Aoyan's Harvard article, The History of Artificial Intelligence, notes another type of learning called expert learning. This learning was very highly praised that the Japanese government funded it heavily and created the 5th generation computer project. Funding eventually ceased, but despite this, AI grew exponentially. In fact, IBM's supercomputer Deep Blue was an AI designed to play chess, and in 1997, AI played against world chess champion Garry Kasparov and won, causing a huge leap in AI development. With AI's rapid growth, one may think that it will grow into something humanity will not be able to control. A believer in the Word of God should not have to worry about this. God can decide at any time whether or not something fits into this plan. An example of this is the Tower of Babel. Man decided to try to build a great tower to try and reach God in the heavens. God saw them and realized that if they could speak in one language together and accomplish such a great feat, nothing would be impossible for them. So God decided to scatter them and confuse them, their languages. The Tower of Babel was not a part of God's plan, and so he frustrated the effort and set in place parameters to prevent such an effort from happening again. AI will eventually only be limited by humans' capability. God is all-powerful, and if AI grows to something that God does not see fit, he will put an end to its advancement. Another example of this halting impact from God is apparent in the advancement of nuclear weaponry. Encyclopedia Britannica, Atomic Bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki entry, notes that the first nuclear bombs to be dropped for war purposes were the little boy and fat man. At the time, those bombs were very catastrophic, but as of today, they are minuscule. Amy Ticken's article she wrote called Tsar Bomb talks about a new bomb that is the biggest bomb today called the Tsar Bomb, and it is 3,800 times more powerful. The only reason that AI and nuclear weapons have grown to what they are now is because God has allowed it. As of today, AI is used very frequently. It is used in many things today. Recommendations people encounter when shopping online, facial recognitions, and virtual assistants. Most people do not even realize that some computer applications use some form of AI. In fact, some people believe that AI has become a little too useful. Furthermore, with the arrival of softwares like ChatGPT, came many issues and controversies in the area of education. Such an issue was the rise of student submissions of papers being generated with the help of AI. Teachers needed their own AI detection applications in order to determine what was AI generated and what was not. And did this to prevent cheating. And another popular AI use occurred in the field of art. AI art applications scrape the internet for images so they can recreate images based on prompts imputed by the user. The AI uses deep learning in order to understand the image it observes. In fact, some cases of presenting AI art in art competitions have been seen, and even some where AI art has won an art competition. In his For the New York Times article, An AI-Generated Picture Won an Art Prize, Artists Aren't Happy, Kevin Roos writes about how in 2022, during the Colorado State Fair's annual art competition, a man named Jason M. Allen created a piece of art using technology and won the competition, despite making it clear that the work that he submitted was AI generated. Operators have taken countermeasures to ensure that AI art is not mistaken for real art. In fact, one team has taken the task to protect artists' artwork. This group is called the Glaze Project. As of now, they have two anti-AI art bots. The first one is called Glaze. Glaze was designed to remove the ability for AI art scrapers to copy the art of another artist's art style and prevent them from using it as testing data. The AI art observes the image and sees it as something completely different, even though the human eye looks at the image and sees nothing's changed. The second type of AI that they have made is a more offensive weapon. This AI is called Nightshade, in the way that it acts as a poison against AI artworks. Nightshade works under the same way as Glaze, but instead it distorts the image to deceive the AI scrappers into believing that they are looking at something completely different. And the AI art bot will present something completely different when given a prompt. Despite the possibilities of AI, the problem does not lie in AI itself. The problem lies in what man chooses to do with it. James 1:14-15 teaches that people are tempted by their own desires, and that those desires bring sin, and that sin brings death. Man will find a way to use AI for good because of the wickedness in his heart, just as he has in the past. As a matter of comparison, a person may consider gun ownership, which is another very controversial topic, similar to AI. As noted in an article written by Catherine Schnacker, Key Facts About Americans and Guns, over half of Americans believe that American gun laws should be stricter and that guns are too easily obtainable. However, while it is a fact that guns can be utilized for evil purposes and have been used so in the past, the fact neglects to acknowledge that they have also been used for good. Police wield guns to protect civilians, and the military uses all sorts of weapons to defend our country. Guns are a tool that God has allowed mankind to generate and use, the same way that AI is a tool that God has allowed us to have and generate and use. The future of AI is very uncertain. No person can fully explain the future implications of AI. In an interview between Leila Fado and Scott Newcomb, produced by Morning Edition, Newcomb notes that experts issue a dire warning about AI and encourage limits be imposed. The two of them discuss a statement made by scientists about how AI could lead to extinction and that AI should be taken as seriously as other extinction-level risks, like pandemics and nuclear wars. Newcomb replies in great detail, offering information about an issue called the alignment problem, and that could be a huge issue for the future of AI. The alignment problem is an issue that we don't really know how to accurately communicate to AI systems what they want them to do. Due to the nature of AI's comprehension, an AI can misunderstand certain inputs and possibly bring about destruction or damage. An example of this is self-driving cars. AI can only read commands literally. Fatal also asks Newcomb why some people put this technology into the world despite understanding the consequences. Newcomb explains his wide belief that there is a wide belief that there are huge upsides to AI if we can control it. He also states the recent lack of understanding regarding the damages that AI can cause in the long run. Even though the future of AI seems very dark, believers of the Word of God can be sure that God has complete control. Ephesians 1:11 teaches, "In him also we have obtained an inheritance, being predestined according to the purpose of him, who works all things according to the counsel of his will." God will not allow his plans to be thwarted by the machinations of man's wicked hearts, because he works all things according to his own will. Furthermore, Acts 4:12 reminds believers, "Nor is there any salvation in any other, for there is no other name under heaven given among men by which we must be saved." No matter what, AI will not be able to influence God's plan for human salvation. Mike Kirby and Matthew Amandi discuss in their article, "Christians Shouldn't Fear AI," the fact that AI technology cannot replace human intelligence. One of the article's main points is that only human beings bear God's image. Technology can be used today to mimic the voice of a person who is deceased, but it will not be able to replace what God has given to humans. In Genesis 2:7, the Bible teaches how God breathed the breath of life into a living being. Man can merely create an intelligent creature. He cannot construct a soul. God instructs his people in Matthew 10:28, "And do not fear those who can kill the body, but cannot kill the soul, but rather fear him who is able to destroy both soul and body in hell." Christians should not view AI as a threat because of God's control of its origin and development, how AI is being used today, and its future implications. In its early stages, AI exhibited a promising future ahead of it, and many people invested a lot of money and time into it. AI showed no signs of decline, even when funding ceased. With many types of AI appearing, AI grew in popularity worldwide. Today, AI is used in many different ways than humanity could have ever imagined. From answering simple questions, to providing shopping recommendations, to creating hyper-realistic videos. AI is everywhere. Yet in spite of its good uses, people will still find ways to abuse it and use it for diabolical purposes. Even so, God's plan will shine through no matter what. AI is just a tool that is a gift from God, like every other tool he has given to mankind. No matter how hard humans try, they will never be able to create what God has created on earth. AI is not something that should be feared and shunned. Instead, it should be something that motivates Christians to take action and remember their role in God's overarching plan for them, for this world. Learning about AI is important to keeping one another safe, but learning about God's word can help people even more. AI will not take over the world, because to take over the world is to defy God's will, and those who try to defy God's will fail. Now, for my product, I'll be presenting. The product I will be presenting is a very simple version of an AI that I have made. Using the coding program Hicks. This is the code for the AI, and when I run it, red square is the AI. What it does is the red square detects when the location of the green square and moves it accordingly down one position or moves it accordingly on the x-axis or the y-axis. And you can move around the green square and it will always follow it no matter what. Yep. That's that. Does the review board have any questions?
How would you, what would be the title of your product?
The title of my product, I would call it Chase.
Chase?
Chase, yes.
You had made a description of it, a simple, what did you say that was?
A simple following pathfinding, a simple pathfinding AI. Where it goes from where it is to where the player is. Any other questions?
Yeah, how much coding experience did you have before doing that?
I had, before SPI started, I had a little bit of coding practice in which I had dabbled in making games on Scratch. I had taken classes for, like short classes for like other coding. And then once SPI started, I took some classes in Python and learned most of Python coding during this time in order to create this AI.
Cool. And what makes that an AI program as opposed to, how does that differentiate it as an AI program as opposed to just a regular computer program?
In the fact that it detects where the player is, in which if it can tell that it's lower than it will move down. If it detects that it's more to the right, then it will move to the right. And
So
it
they're
could be
just responding to the acts of the player.
yes. More questions?
How, in your own opinion, how would you say that Christians could benefit from AI? What would be an example of how, because your paper spoke a lot about the dangers of AI, how, and you also stated that it can be used as a tool as well. What positive tools do you see AI benefiting Christianity?
It can be used in the medical field in purpose of helping to heal others the way that we should be protecting, because God calls us to protect life. And in using AI in, for example, surgery, it can ensure that they will get the right treatment that they need, and when they're in doing stuff that normal humans cannot.
So sort of additional resource for something that's beyond.
And like the way that like medicine is used in that sense, how we use medicine to help heal others. So the way AI can be used in that field to assist others. And I'm sure there are other ways. Just cannot really explain it.
yeah, I was gonna say too, so you, said we shouldn't fear it. I guess if you could elaborate a little bit more what you mean by fear, because, I mean, technically God is in control, so we should fear nothing, right? But I mean, people have still been martyred, people have gone through horrible things, which, if we have a godly perspective, like a supremely heavenly perspective, we wouldn't fear, but as humans, we're still going to be afraid of that. So kind of, can you elaborate on what you mean by fear? Like at what level of, I like to say I'm not afraid of anything, but I honestly am going to be afraid of some stuff, right? Regardless of my perspective.
What I mean by fear is we should not let it control our lives. Should not let it, like the way that we fear God is we fear Him because He's all powerful and sorry.
And I'm just looking for your opinion. It's not like
Yeah.
it's like a right answer. This is kind of like how do you frame that?
Okay, I think the way is fearing AI.
Can you give me an example of a wrong way to fear it? Maybe a healthy way, a healthy respect to fear it?
A wrong way to fear it would be to like
Maybe not even use it.
yeah, well,
because you're-
not even use it and not like boycott it and like shun people for using it and like ways like that. Like how there are some people who fear guns and they decide to like burn guns and try and like not burn, sorry. They try to remove guns from everyone. That kind of fear and like trying to stay sheltered. Oh, okay. So the way there are murderers out every day, but fearing them, if you don't go outside at all because you fear them, that's controlling your life. That's not a reasonable way to live because you still need to go out. So that is a way of controlling you. So you should, a Christian would know that you should still be careful, but not overly cautious about it.